Hey YouTube, Rival X Factor here, and I have a very nice treat for you. I have the developers and creators of Ravaged, a post-apocalyptic, vehicle-centric FPS featuring multiple game modes, multiple classes, and a whole hell of a lot of fun. We're about to do an interview here, but before we do that, let's go over some of the nuts and bolts. This is a PC-based game which requires a GTX 260 and a quad-core or higher to run it. I also have free full copies of this game to give away. Not just beta keys, but a full copy which gets you into beta today. Please read the description down below how to get those copies. So let's get to the interview. Boris is a lead gameplay designer. What made you create this crazy fast-paced shooter?
Well, I've never really seen a game quite like it out there. There's a couple that represent post-apocalyptic world, but nothing fast-paced and vehicles and infantry all put together like this.
One of the things I noticed personally when playing the Ravaged beta is that there are multiple classes and they all have their little nuances and their selections and choices. Can you tell me more about that, Scally?
Sure. Basically, we have 5 classes on each side, and some of the classes are mirror their opposite class on the other team. Some of them are a little more varied as well, but we have like your recon or your scout class on both sides. Your soldier class, which is a medium weapons specialist is sort of like your engineer class with the rockets. Your sniper classes. And then your support characters are a little different on each side. Where on one side we have a 50 cal machine gun, and the other side we have the grenade launcher and a shotgun and so forth. So it makes some varied gameplay, some differences, different strengths in different places on each team.
Ken's the lead programmer for Ravaged, and one of the things that I noticed is there's multiple modes in this game, which they all have their differences, and they're all a lot of fun. Can you tell me about some of those modes and what makes them different?
Sure. Yeah, the first one I worked on was thrust, where it's basically a push style where you have to take the control points in a particular order, and you can't advance to one control point without taking the one before it. So you have to push through them all. There could be multiple control points at one level where you have to take all of those to advance to the next level. So you push all the way across the map through the control points, and you try to take the opposing team's home base and snuff them out, basically, and that's how you win the map. The other game mode is resource control, or excuse me, control the resource, and it's similar to capture the flag, but there's variants to it to where we can have more than one resource on each side, and we put a lot of emphasis on the vehicles there. So you have a lot of really high energy chases going on. Like the helicopters chasing, like the Doom buggy, and whatever other vehicles we happen to have on there.
Yeah,
And
I've been involved in a couple of the chases, and just as I think I'm about to pay dirt and cash in that resource and score some points for the team, I get mowed over by the helicopter.
yeah, yeah, that's it can be frustrating, but it's really fun. It's very intense.
Yeah, there's a
That
lot of different games that I played capture the flag mode in, or resource type mode, and they're a lot easier than this. This is hard because the
It is
attacks,
hard.
the vehicles are so fast, they can cover a lot of ground, and there's that air element which most games don't have.
Yeah, that's the thing, and the helicopters are fairly challenging to fly, but once you learn how, you can get away with murder with them. But like you said, the ground vehicles are very fast. So if they're moving around and doing a lot of evasive maneuvers, it can be a challenge to mirror that in the helicopter because the physics are so different. But they're so powerful too. So it's a real challenge. It's a lot of fun. It's a blast. And if you're on TeamSpeak or whatever, there's always people yelling and laughing, and it's great. I
And
love
in
it.
my case, crying as I crashed a helicopter.
Have you played against me by any chance?
I played against a couple people. I'm not a good pilot, and I've been raped every time.
Well, here's the other thing. Here's another thing I'd like to add to this conversation is that in the whole spirit of listening to people, we do realize that a helicopter can really rape a lot of people. So we are building AA guns because some people requested it, and it would help with the gameplay as well. So we should have that in a couple of days, I believe, in the game.
Yeah, that's mainly geared towards like the home bases to avoid them from getting spawn camped and all that. Because I mean, and I'm the first one to I'm guilty of that for sure. But you gotta keep the other helicopters down, right? But another thing about that game mode is that it has I guess a conquest element to it. I don't know if I should say that word, but whatever. There's other flags that aren't the resources or home bases. They're just out there for basically strategic points where you can spawn. You can spawn closer to their resources or whatever, and there's vehicles there, so you know, it gives you a strategic leg up on them in many cases.
All right, you guys just mentioned something that's really interesting to me is you keep your guys' ear to the ground about community ideas and community thoughts. And I come from a game where the community says something or something's broken in the game. It takes forever to get acknowledged, let alone fixed. And you guys have already implemented stuff in your beta. Can you tell me about that?
Yes, absolutely. For us, listening to the community is really important. The fact that we're a small company, we are able to take input fairly quickly and fix or change certain things to help the game along. We can't listen to everybody, but we listen to the majority. So when the majority says this really needs to be looked at or really needs to be fixed, we take care of it. And in my earlier videos, I show a talk about some things that we did fix, like the crosshairs, the hit detection sound, the field of view, being able to change that interactively. And there's a bunch more stuff actually that we've implemented into our website. John, can you go over it a little bit?
Well, one of the things that we did is we have the Ravaged idea scale website, and we're keeping our eyes really closely tuned to that website, and we're looking at a lot of the really cool suggestions that people are making, and we're trying to implement them as on the fly. Some of the things are fairly easy to do, and we've already kind of come across the ability to do those while we're doing the development. So, when we see people requesting things like being able to change the FOV and so forth, we're pretty quick to implement that because we want to make the game as customizable for each play style, and each player has their own little desires and so forth. So we're trying to make the game really friendly in that way. So we want to really kind of listen to those ideas because there's plenty of people who feel the same way, and it's important to develop the community like that. So that's definitely one of the things that really important to us is listening to the community. Even in our forums, we've had suggestions, and we've run out right away and implemented things that were very quick to get sent out to the beta.
I mean, this is amazing. It's there's already 176 ideas posted. I'm going to put a link in the description to this site so you guys can all check out and see how dedicated these guys are to their craft. And three of the top 7 or 8 ideas are already implemented in the game. Such as the base defense. You guys talked about that just a second ago. Protection from helicopter rape. And I know something that's on the main page of your website, which is coming in the future, is an oversized dump truck as a movable base.
That's right. We hope to have that after the game releases shortly, and that's something we're working on now. It looks like an awesome vehicle to drive and play in.
So what type of crowd does this cater to? Does this cater to the average Joe who just wants to log on for 15 minutes or an hour and just knock out some games? Or is this for competitive players? What's this designed around?
Well, Ravaged is definitely for the casual players. It's important for us that this game is definitely something that appeals to the average players. As you said, some people don't want to spend their whole day playing this game or just want to have fun, and this game is definitely for those kind of players. But we also want to support the competitive side, and with the competitive side, we added stuff like spectator mode, which is known by everyone that it's opening up for the opportunity to do like live stream matches and a lot of cool stuff that can make an esport grow.
Well, that's a lot. It's everybody knows I'm a Battlefield 3 player, and MLG did not pick up this game because it did not have spectate mode. That's against their rules. You have to have spectate mode, and that's so you can tout the game, you could podcast the game, and you got just so many more options with that spectate mode built in. It really helps grow the sport, and I'm glad you guys are including it in out the gate.
To support like also yeah, every kind of player, not just the casual players, but also the competitors.
Yeah, because originally I really started working on that as an anti-cheat measure, which a lot of people are really concerned about because there's been a lot of games out there recently where there's a lot of hackers just ruining the games, and so I really wanted to have that in there, so people could follow other people and see if they're hacking. But then the other side of it, the competitive people, a lot of the clans and people like that, they wanted to have a robust spectate mode where they could follow people, in different views, different angles, different distances, and so I'm really trying to get that in there as much as I can. It's kind of a side thing, but I'm really trying, do as much as possible, just to have that ability, so you can see what's going on. Different camera speeds, so you can move different control points fairly easily, and I think it's coming along pretty good.
Yeah, also like the map designs are also ready for multiple game modes, or I mean game sizes. So you don't have to just focus on one game size in a competitive match. You can actually play multiple game sizes. Another thing that also something that's gonna be cool for the competitive players is also that you got the scoreboard. After each match, you can actually see the detailed scoreboard, who won and how many kills, and like all the basic stuff that are actually missing sometimes in other games. And also like having a live updating scoreboard, so you can actually see who's dead or not spawned in at least. And that, from my own experience, is also something that I'm missing.
Yeah,
But it's really important for a team to like.
Yeah, that live scoreboard is an awesome aspect because a lot of my followers know that Rival, we're a dominant team in North America, and we're a dominant team in the world battlefield scene. And there's a lot of guessing. Hey, is this guy down? Did he get res? Did they just spawn back another guy? There's so much stuff going on. Now you got a live scoreboard to tell you what's up, and you can make calculated decisions based on that. Hey, there's 2 down. Let's push. Hey, wait, we got 3 dead. Let's hold up and play defensively for a second.
Yeah, totally. It offers a great tactical opportunity for a team, definitely.
On top of developing a different type of game, you guys are also developing support for communities within your community. Can you tell me how that works?
Yeah. Within our website, the players or the community is gonna have the option to like create their own team or their own group. And within that group, they can create events, like let's have a gathering on Sunday, and they can just schedule it. And then everyone in that group can see exactly what time and day the event is gonna be. You're gonna have options to the possibility to like share videos, share pictures, and other great stuff, create discussions, and yeah, a lot of cool things.
So 2 questions that I have that's important to every guy who's about to invest in a game is, what's your future development plans? And then also, what is your plan of action for fixing bugs? Because I come from a game where I play competitively, and there could be a game-breaking issue, and the development team doesn't even recognize it for months, let alone fix it for 6 months. What are you guys gonna do to help lessen the headache that the community has had in games from where I come from?
Well, I mean, for us, fixing bugs is a priority. Right now, we're going through our beta process, and so all we're doing right now is fixing bugs. We listen to the community. The community's been very helpful in reporting bugs to us, and we respond back instantly. I think we try to release a new build every week with as many bug fixes as we can. So priority for us is bug fixing, and we definitely love to listen to our community about stuff like that. We want to make a fun game, and the only way to make it fun is when there are very few bugs. And the other thing is for future development is things that people have been asking for, a majority of people, and that's VoIP and the ability to have squads. So these are the things that we've been discussing internally, and once we're done with the major bug fixing, then we're going to go into developing new features, and those are the features that we've been talking about.
I will say this, in my experience playing this beta over the last 10 to 14 days or so, there's been some major changes for the better in this game, and I really think you guys have your ear to the ground, and with the community's help, this will be an amazing game. I already find it highly addictive. It's kind of scary because I'm having too much fun with this game, and I know a couple of the other rival guys have said the same thing. They're having a little bit too much fun with this game. So I look forward to getting more people involved with this because it's different, and it's a breath of fresh air in the FPS community.
That's great. It's really nice to hear you say that. You know, we put a lot of work and heart into this game. The reason why our company is called To Dawn, John, do you want to take it over and explain that?
Well, it was sort of a play on words. It was because most of us actually had day jobs, and this is something that we were doing in the evening hours, and very often we found ourselves working to dawn, and that's what we decided to name the company.
That's awesome. Functionality at its finest. But yeah, thank you guys for informing my community what your game is about. And hopefully they enjoyed enough to leave some comments and questions. And here's what I want to do for the community. If you guys have questions for the developers and the team, leave them below. The comments that get the most likes and thumbs up, I will readdress with these guys on a second video. So please check out all the links in the descriptions, guys. I'm going to put the Ideas site on there. I'm going to put their forums on there. I'm going to put their website on there. There's going to be a lot of information to digest. So please check it out. Please get inundated with the information. And we will see you on the next video, YouTube. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you're excited about this game just like I am.